Thanks for joining. Today we're going to be covering lot selection packages, also known as color chart. And I'm going to share my screen.
That sounds good.
Thanks, Gwendolyn.
Yep.
All right,
Okay, I can see.
You got it? Thank you.
Yep.
All right, so this is the main menu. I'm not going to cover the main menu. That's done in another presentation. But for this particular one, what we're going to look at is building up a set of inventory items that we can go through with the purchaser of the home. And we're going to then go through and select those packages. So firstly, I'm going to go into the phases here. I'm going to go into phase items, and I just want to give a demonstration of one of these items that we're using to build up. There's a lot of products that you see on here, but
hardwood, please. No, I'm kidding. Like, don't click on the laminate.
I'm glad you selected that, because actually hardwood's the one I'm going to. So
good.
Well, I did put laminate in my basement, and I was pretty happy with it.
Well, the basement, that makes sense.
So if I go into here, what you'll see is that we actually built up the information in, I'll just keep resizing these screens. Sorry about that.
Sure.
We actually built up this information in 4 different sections of the system, and this screen just automatically brought the whole lot together. The first thing we have is the model. So this is the model of the home. It's these are just made up names. We got Jupiter. If I scroll on down, we got Mars A, and then we got Mars B. That's the name of our homes. Within each of these models, we have house areas: bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, bedroom 4. Bedroom 1 there, but so we got each of these bedrooms, and within each of them, we have a series of variants against this particular flooring, hardwood flooring, as you requested, that we put in here. And you can notice that I can have ash in bedroom 2, I can have ash in bedroom 3. So this looks like a long list of products and rooms, house areas, and models, but it's based upon 3 different lists that get amalgamated in here. And what it has is this list also brings together the purchase prices, which we get from our vendors, and we can either describe a markup that we want to put on there, or we can work it the other way around. So this particular one, for some reason, when we sell this hardwood floor, we don't want the price to be changed when we change the purchase price coming in the system. What we want is we want it to be always at $1,700 for a unit price. And so you can
regardless of the cost, so it can ignore the cost and just lock in that price.
Bang on.
Okay, gotcha.
So here we're taking, tell me your profit based upon whatever you entered the price and cost. Whereas all the rest of them, we said, look, whatever the cost is, add a 50% margin. That's my address that popped up there. And then we get a unit price in here.
Okay.
In another one of the videos, I'm going to show you how we can automatically upload all of these costs in here using an Excel spreadsheet, but we're going to zip through this particular one right now. Okay. So this has built up a list, all sorts of selections, all sorts of options. There is one other one which I'm going to briefly cover, and that is, instead of having a price for each of the house areas, for each of the variants of the product which we're selling, we could say bedroom 2 is 150 square feet. And we charge X dollars per square foot, therefore that's the price. It makes the list a little simpler, but we found that most people seem to go down the route where they want to tell us what the models are, tell us the house areas within each model, and tell us the cost to complete each one of the house areas. And that's normally how your vendor contract would be created. Are we good?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, because that's how you think about your home, right? So that does make sense to me.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of here, and I'm going to go into my lot selection package. Now, you might approach it from the lot. You might approach it straight from the lot selection package. If I go into the lot screen here, you'll see I've got all of my lots down listed here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and overhead one. We're not going to worry about that. If I, for instance, want to have a look at one of them, if I went on to lot 6, I can just crack open the selection packages, and I'm just looking at the selection packages for lot 6, and I can see that.
So is this a lot in a neighborhood, or like a? Okay,
yeah.
Just making sure, because I think of color lots too, and I wasn't sure. Okay, thank you.
No, yeah, it's a lot in a neighborhood, and we've put the model of the house we want on it, and Yeah. And so now we're at the point where Linda and Andrew purchased this model on this lot, and they haven't completed making their selection. You notice that we have an additional thing. We can do an addendum. We can add extra things to it. And I'm going to cover that.
So like a change order or
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly what it is. Yeah,
Great.
yeah. The color chart, the initial one is, again, it's automatically built up, but the change order, you can do whatever you like. It's a bit of an open season, open chart.
Okay.
I'm just going to click into this choices here. And what it does is it brings up the selections which we've automatically assigned based upon a series of characteristics in the system. And these people are now going to go through and they're going to choose each of these elements. Now, they've actually already chosen a bunch of them. You notice that some of them show as standard. So they needed to choose some cabinetry, and this was standard. It didn't come with an additional price. And you notice that this one here, they chose a mirror. It was an upgrade. It's classified as an extra here, as you can see, and it's going to cost them an extra $112. A couple of points on this sheet here. If I scroll to the right, I'm an administrator, therefore I get to see the cost.
Right.
I might not show that to everybody in the company. Second thing is I've associated this with a vendor. So when they've made this selection, I already know which vendor it's going to get. I already know the vendor contract that this is going to be done under. So I got this information in here. All I have to do is select it.
And then the cost that only you can see, or that comes from the contract that you have with the vendor?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, and we cover vendor contracts in another one of these videos.
Gotcha.
And that's the one where we can automatically update it en masse. That's exactly what it is. So I'm going to go down to here. We're going to look at the dining room. We're going to make a selection here on the dining room. You can see that there are a couple of options. I don't have to do it this way. I just decided to do it this way for this particular example. And on this one, you get beige carpeting as standard.
In the dining room. Risky.
Well, if you really want, you can change the color of this carpeting and you can have it as blue carpeting.
There you go.
Right? Yeah, it's still standard. You're not paying any extra for it. But let's just say you don't want to do that. And I get the impression, Gwendolyn, that you want something else than carpet, beige or blue.
Really very busy to hide things.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just delete this one because I'm pretty confident we're not going to be wanting that one. Whatever the price is, I think you're going to tell me you're not happy with beige carpet.
Read me right there. Okay.
So let's go ahead and in our dining room, I'll just cleared it off. It wasn't mandatory. By the way, if it had mandatory flagged here, I would have to choose it. I just on this particular occasion, I just got rid of it. So let's go ahead into my hardwood selections. I got a bunch of options here. I have engineered hardwood. I could have laminate if I'd have added it. Some of them are done by house area. Some of them are done by square footage. So you notice this one here is square footage, and this is the quantity. And so these are just different examples. I'm just going to choose the house area, but you can see that we can set this up to run it in this way. But I'm just going to choose this by house area. So I select it, and you notice that it's still red over here. It's not turned black. When it turns to black, it means we've made our decision and we're happy. When it's this color, then it says, hey, you've got to make another selection. You've got to make another choice here. So we move over to the variant code, if you remember those colors which we had. And so I select on that one, and here we go. Here are the prices, and those are that's the price to not have beige carpeting.
I'm so rethinking the whole laminate thing now. No.
So I didn't allow you to choose laminate, but no, there. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the maple, and it came through. It's an upgrade. It's $2,000. If you have permissions, I've turned permissions off for me over here, but I left permissions open over here. I could go and change this to 1,500, and it's going to go and change that price back there. So I'm allowed to do that sort of thing if I give them permissions. On top of that, what you can do is you can do general credits. But I've got to go and select all of this stuff here. I'm not going to go through every selection. This is just to give you a bit of a flavor about how it works. But what I will print off for you is I'm going to come back out of here, and I'm going to say, what did you select? So if I go into this is a nice pre-printed color chart selection. I click on print, and it goes and creates a nice PDF document for me, shows you everything that you selected, gives references, doesn't say the pricing, that's on a different report. And I can scroll to the bottom, and I can ask you to sign it, save it, and attach it to the lot.
Ah, very cool.
I'm pretty happy with it. I'll show you the one last one. If I click into the print purchaser extra screen here, this is the other one I was talking about. At some point, you made a bunch of choices which cost you something. So these are the choices you made. And this is that European oak that you selected for your bedroom 2. No, you selected the one for the dining room right here. So you selected this one here, and this is what it's going to cost you. Again,
so this is the sheet you hide from your husband. Got it. No, there are no extras. It was all standard.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Well, actually, to that note, if you want, we have a choice. We can either charge based upon an invoice, so you can receive that invoice completely independently, or we can roll it up into the final price that when you close the house, it's all added in there.
Brilliant. You've managed all my
desires. We've hidden that price very nicely. So there's quite a lot more to lot selection packages, but for now, just wanted to give you a bit of an overview. And I was going to show you how this works on the tablet if you're interested. I can see whether I can go in real quick. I've got it on a different screen. And
while you bring that up, that first list where it shows all your selections that you sign off on, you're making so many decisions that I could see people forgetting, right? What the heck did I decide?
or lying. Yeah.
Right. So that would be helpful. No, we did do the ash in that room.
Right. Let's see if I can. Do you see a different screen show up, or are you still looking at my computer right now?
I'm seeing selection test and my face.
Oh, right. Then
I'm a fan of.
Oh, I can take that out. Sorry. So let's go into here. I'm on a tablet right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay. So it's more streamlined view. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you can carry this around with you. I'm connected directly online. I can click into this. I can click onto choices. You can see it's got a different structure to it. I can go into here. I can walk around on the work site. I can make my choices. I can do all that sort of stuff. This
so
is
you just stand there with the buyer then and go through each room. That makes sense. I like that.
Yeah. So I'm not on a PC. I'm just into here. I go and make my selection. You know, they want to choose some cabinetry. This is a mandatory thing. So I go and select it, and all right, there's only one standard, and it still charges me money. There's a lot of flexibility, a lot of choices in here. Anyway, that is that's it on a tablet. Comes with a package, and I think that's all we're going to cover for today.
I love it. This is really neat. I never saw anything like this before.
Cool. Well, thank you, and we'll hide things from your husband.
But brilliant.
Thanks, Gwendolyn.
Win. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.